The sound in this video was processed by Isotope. In this video, power banks for pedals, are they any good? Harley Benton PowerPlant, what's the price? What comes with it? We'll check its features and specs, including its weight and size. We'll take a look at the actual battery, check how it works with pedals, compare it to a 9-volt adapter, try all inputs and outputs at the same time, and figure out how long it lasts and how much time it needs to recharge. And it's all coming up right now. Hello everyone, here is Max. In this video we'll figure out whether power banks are any good for guitar pedals. And for that we'll be using this Harley Benton PowerPlant. You'll find this power bank at Thomann, and at the moment its price is 39 euros. The good thing is that it comes with a bunch of cables to connect your pedals. It can carry 10,000 mAh, can be loaded during use, which is good, charging time approximately 5 hours, we're gonna check that later on. And if we look for other power banks at Thomann, we'll find cheaper options, but those don't have any 9-volt outputs for pedals. PowerPlant power bank, how they call it, comes in a box like this. Let's open it and take a look inside. There is a rather big for a battery manual in both German and English languages, and it pretty much repeats all the specs we've seen before. Notice that the total maximum output at 9 volts is 1.2 amps. The unit, we'll take a look at it a little later, and here are all the cables we've got with it. Micro USB charging lead, it's pretty short but white and sexy. Okay, this one is the polarity change adapter, to reverse it from center negative to center positive if you need to. 2 power leads for pedals, and a daisy chain. And here's the power bank itself. Here on the front it has a power button. Nothing on the sides. Here on the back there are a few more specs once again. Up to 1.2 amps at 9 volts and up to 2 amps at 5 volts. 10,000 milliamp hours. Nothing here. On this side there are 2 9-volt outputs for pedals, center negative, 5-volt USB output, micro USB input for charging, and an LED. You can turn it on by pressing power button twice. And it's pretty bright actually. Hold the power button to turn the power bank on. And 4 red LEDs tell us that it's fully charged. Hold the power button again to turn it off. Let's check how heavy it is. And it is 209 grams, or a little less than half a pound. And here are the numbers for its size. And here is how it compares to a phone. And a couple of different pedals. Okay, let's open this power bank and take a look at what is hiding inside. And by the way, don't try this at home. Not only this will void the warranty, but it may also be dangerous. I understand you may be curious about what's inside, and this is why I'm doing this on camera, such as you can see everything and don't need to open it yourself. If you think that a power bank is just a battery, well, then you are mistaken. It wouldn't be that noisy if it was. As you can see, there are plenty of SMD components inside. And one of the things they do is converting 4.4 volts into 5 for USB or 9 for pedals. Good, that's it. Next chapter. Okay, let's try PowerPlant with this pedal board and find out if there are any issues with the sound. It sounds like there is a little bit of noise, but it is very quiet for now. Okay, let's see what happens if I turn on this one. Sounds okay to me. Okay, let's check how much noise there actually is. This is pretty noisy. Let's compare it to a power supply, like this one, for example. Well, there isn't much difference, as you can hear, and this is why it is a bad idea to power both digital and analog pedals with the same daisy chain. Now let's separate this pedal and power it with another adapter. Much better now, right? So let's swap this power supply to a power bank and see what happens. It's pretty much the same. Okay, let's get rid of this and power everything with a power plant again. Okay, once again, it's not a good idea to use the same power source or daisy chain for analog and digital pedals at the same time. Well, yeah, it's kind of noisy, but if you turn this down, it's gonna be okay. Or if you really need to use a digital pedal with analog ones, just use two power banks to avoid the noise. Problem solved? Now let's check the actual noise level of the power plant. This method is very well explained in my video on power supplies. I'll give you a link to it right there and in the comments below. And now let's just connect our power bank to the buzz detector and check how noisy it is. Okay, let's turn it on. Oh, it is very noisy without a load, at -6 dBs. Let's give it some. Still at -6 dBs, 80 milliamps. Let's give it some more load. milliamps. Now the frequency response changes. Okay, let's try 1 amp. 1 amp, it's still going strong, but the voltage has dropped quite a bit. Let's try to go to 1.2. 1.1, it still works. Now it won't give you 1.2, it dies a little bit earlier. And you can see that there's an error right here. Okay, let's turn it off. This power supply was actually in the test, Ortega, 500 milliamps. Let's try it. It is quieter than the power bank, but the noise is kind of different. Let's give it some load. -10.4, let's go up to 500 milliamps. And it's 5.1 dBs. And let's compare it to the power bank again. At its maximum, the power bank was -6.3. So the PowerPlant power bank has a noise level similar to an average switch-in mode power supply, like this one. My next question is it possible to play and charge a phone with a power plant at the same time? Let's find out! Okay, it is charging. No problems with the sound. What about a tablet? Well, this tablet actually needs 2 amps, which is a lot of power. Let's see how it's gonna work. Well, it's charging. Well, it works. Now what if I want to charge the power bank itself and play at the same time? Will that work? Let's check it out. It is charging, as you can see. Sounds good to me. The capacity of this power bank is 10,000 mAh, but what does that mean actually? Well, in theory, if you're powering a device which needs 1 amp, it is supposed to work for 10 hours straight. To check that, I've put together this huge pedal board. It has 19 pedals, and some of those are digital, which means they need a lot of power. And if I measure how much they actually need altogether, that would be a little over 1 amp, which is very close to the total maximum output of the power plant. I've used 2 daisy chains to connect all these pedals together. Well, generally it's not a good idea to hook analog and digital pedals on the same daisy chain, but we're not gonna play through this pedal board, we're only gonna use it for some measurements, so that's fine. I've connected both daisy chains to the power bank, turned it on and started the stopwatch. Right now the power bank is under a lot of stress and it works at its maximum, so I won't be surprised if it's not gonna last for 10 hours, but anything longer than an average gig length will do. Fast forward. According to the LED indication, we're down to 50% after only half an hour. Let's see what happens next. 48 minutes, 25% left, but it's still going strong. Two hours 14, the LED starts blinking. 2 hours 35 minutes in, everything turns off. Well, these are many pedals, right? What if I try to power up only a half of them? That would give us another 20 minutes of life. Well, it's longer than an average gig, so I would say it's good enough. And if you choose to go with only 2 pedals instead, that would last for like 24 hours, at least, or days with analog pedals. Now that it is completely discharged, I will connect the power plant to this USB charger which provides 2 amps and start the stopwatch once again to figure out how much time it's gonna need to charge to 100%. 4 hours 55 minutes, a little less than the announced 5 hours. Well, we've almost reached the end of the video and it's time for a recap. If you've made it this far, please leave a rectangle of power in the comments, just for fun. So, we're dealing with a power bank specifically for guitar pedals. It's pretty much the same weight and size as a standard one, but has 9V outputs and comes with some accessories. 2 pros and cons. The best thing is that it gives you freedom to play anytime, anywhere, and it lasts long. All outputs may be used simultaneously and you can even charge it at the same time. Everything you need to use this power bank, with an exception of a USB charger, comes with it. And once again, it is not a traditional battery, so it is not the cleanest source of power. As for the question, yay or nay, I would say, why not? Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that subscribe button right there, and don't forget about the bell button to get notifications every time I'm posting a new video. A special thanks goes to people in the list below. Those are my patrons. If you want to say thanks, hit the button on the left and join the list. Well, that's it for now. Have a good day and I'll see you soon.